This is a REEFER 250, episode 10. Just going to show you a sump update because a lot's gone on with that. More importantly, I'm going to show you a little bit of the maintenance I do on the ALR1 reactor. So, a few things you need for that. Firstly, you need to put down your missus's favourite towel. That's really important. Use the favourite one all the time. Get yourself a bag to put shit in out of that. And if you haven't got a dog, get one for the purpose of cleaning out your sump, because you need to have a dog in front of you the whole time that really gets in your way and gets on your nerves. Don't you, Lucas? Right, so first and foremost, shut the pump down. And for those of you who've got this reactor, I think a lot of these sort of things have this anyways. There's a lock off valve at the back, so crank that off. And then take the pump off. I never turn the pump off. Took the pipes off. Lift the reactor out your awkward ass fucking RedSea sump. Undo your thumb screws. As you can see there, the LEDs you've got on this are the cool white and red. 2 weeks worth. And there's a lot of crap in here, to be honest. That would just be because of, if you've seen the previous episodes where I moved the rocks around and took the sand out and all that sort of stuff, that much shit would have been pulled into this, that it wouldn't do the best this time round, regardless. If it's worth doing, then I'll do this every so often and you can see how it progresses, because I've never had too much trouble with that. I know a lot of people who can't grow this stuff, believe it or not. So I just take nearly all of it off. Leave a bit on. You leave a bit on to grow the next, start the next load off basically. You don't want to take a lot off, because you'll just have to wind up buying more. So, about once a month I do a really thorough clean on this as well. I render it new basically. But what with it being a algae reactor and all that, I don't suppose you want to really do that every time. I don't know, you might be alright, but for all I know, it'll have an adverse effect on what you're trying to do. Like if you had a refugium, you wouldn't completely gut it every week. But some people are really meticulous about how clean they keep everything. I certainly fucking am. So, put all that back together. Make sure you've got everything on properly, because water will spray out the sides, and knowing your luck, it'll be next to electrics. Sod's law and all that. So, connector all back up really awkwardly, and now that's ready to go back on. So that's a good amount in it. He said no, it's shit. Right then, so this is just a general update on the rest of the sump and what's been, how things have changed since the previous time. And first and foremost, this Bubble Magus Curve 5 protein skimmer has died on me twice in the past month or so. I've managed to fix it both times. Both times I found that it seems to be a problem either with the air intake, the venturi, which if you move that out you can see this bubbling a bit. Liquid has got in there, I've just spilled some in there, but you see where the water level right here has stopped, and it's pumping water in. It looks like there's a lot of bubbles in there now, but it's just not been working. It seems like it can't lift the water or the bubbles to the top of the cup. Like, it seems to get there no matter what setting I've got it on, which is the air intake here. It'll focus. No matter what setting I've got it on, it doesn't seem to lift it. But I took the whole thing apart, give it a really good clean, took the pump apart, took the impeller out, and on the one occasion I found that there was baby snails living in the impeller, baby trochus snails, and they were alive as well. I took them out and put them in the main display, and they were still alive, which was surprising to me. And then it seemed to work alright. I found a load of weird black stuff behind the impeller, no idea what it is or where it's come from or what. Cleaned all that off and it started working again. So I'm guessing I'll do that again now and see if it works any better. I don't really want to have to be doing it, feeling like I've got to do that every week just to get this skimmer to fucking work. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. The other issue I ran into is two of these pumps basically back siphoned, and if you've got any doser or peristaltic pump or anything like that, you should never ever have a back siphon. If these pumps back siphon, it means the basically the pads inside these, there'll be 2 or 3 little wheels that turn around and they pinch against these pipes and stop any, forward or back at all. So if there's a back siphon, then it's not pinching the pipe correctly. Helped a little bit by putting a check valve on, which isn't, you should never have to put a check valve on there. I'm sure that'll degrade pretty quick and I'll have to change it over. I've got another one ready to go in, but realistically I should just buy another doser. Would be the smart thing to do. So yeah, that failed on me anyway, and I can't remember what part that is. Part 3A of the Triton method went on me, so that wasn't dosing any of 3A, and it wasn't dosing any. Actually, I think it was both parts of number 3. I don't think it was dosing either. But they're dosing it now. Striving for an SPS tank, to be honest. The slightest little thing really, and it can have a real disastrous effect. If that was LPS or definitely softies, you probably wouldn't have really seen too much bother in the tank. Luckily I noticed it. As I said before, I'm dosing NO3PO4X now. I dose 2 mil at 11 o'clock and another 2 mil at either 12 or 1 o'clock. I can't quite remember. I'm not sure why I've split the dosing up, but I just wanted to. I also dose 4 mil with this Acro Power about 6 o'clock every day. 4 mil of that. What else? The D&D temperature controller has worked basically flawlessly. In the UK we've had some real hot spells. I've put a fan on the tank too now, that's connected up to that too, so basically whenever it gets too hot the fan will kick in, gets too cold the heater kicks in. One other thing, because I don't run filter socks on this tank, and I never have. Well, I did for about the first week, but I recently got this. So, RedSea filter media cup, and if I was going to buy this tank again or another RedSea tank, I would say to whatever supplier you're buying it off to not give you the filter socks and give you these. I don't think there's a real price difference, but get these instead, because whether it's 1, 2 or 4, I think it goes up to the RedSea tanks with these little gears. You can put all sorts in these. You can put carbon in one in a filter media bag. You can use them like little reactors, you know, put carbon in one, put a FOS remover in the other, or mix them up. You could put filter wool in there. There's a lot of good stuff you can do with these. I think they're about 10 quid if you want to buy one. Comes with a little media bag as well. It's quite a big bag actually, sorry. You could use that for carbon, that's what I've been using it for. But yeah, so far so good with that. Seems alright.